Hey guys, Eric Sue here. Welcome back to another episode of Healthy Living with Eric Sue. As you can see, I am not in Chicago, but I am here with a good friend of mine that I just met actually in Sacramento, California. His name is Gregory Johnson. That's how well I know him. But anyhow, Gregory Johnson. And I am here. I just wanted to do a quick episode with you guys talking about, I should say, the start and stop idea behind fitness. So the big mystery is this: how do average Joes and Janes who did not cheat and hire personal trainers and chefs, who want to live fit and healthy, how do we achieve our health and fitness goals and live our healthiest life, yet still have plenty of time to enjoy it? That's the million-dollar question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Eric Sue, and welcome to Healthy Living with Eric Sue Radio.
Hey guys, before diving into the episode, this episode is sponsored by Quality Raw. It's a members-only website where you can sign up for free to get Eric's best trainings. Let me explain to you quickly what you will get once you sign up. So we have Eric's mini bootcamp workout manual and video. There's also his core secrets workshop plus the core exercise videos. There's so much in here that you have to check it out yourself. By the way, this members area will be updated over time, so you will always get his latest trainings. So visit www.quality.com/raw and sign up today. You will be glad you did.
But before I get into all that, let me have Gregory just share a little bit about who he is. Gregory.
Sure, absolutely. I'll give you kind of like the brief bio. So obviously my name is Greg Johnson. I own a small studio in Sacramento, 2,000 square feet. Mostly private and semi-private training. Just to give you a little background, I have my degree in kinesiology, master's as well. I was fortunate enough over the past couple of years to work in fitness and physical therapy for, we're probably pushing 20 years now. Fitness wasn't my original plan. I was originally coming to Sacramento to get into PT school, and fitness kind of took over. And so far, I haven't looked back and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, so that's pretty much where things are. I've had my first brick and mortar for about 2 years now, leased space before then, and that's kind of where I am right now.
Yeah, I was taking a quick tour real quick, and amazing equipment here. The TRX setup, we can show you later. A lot of fitness equipment back here.
Fitness, hammer strength.
Hammer strength, yeah, absolutely. Brings a lot of memories back to me when I had my own fitness facility. And but we're here to talk a little bit more about the idea of starting and stopping. You know, I have done this little quick survey, and it has like 20 options. And one of the options was, have you ever started and stopped? And that seems to be the number one checked off option on this survey. So I thought it'd be a great topic to talk with Gregory about and get his opinion regarding this stopping and starting. Why would people start and then stop fitness? But anyhow, give me some ideas, Gregory. Why do you think that happens?
Yeah, the fitness industry is extensive, and I feel like the fitness industry has grown in so many ways. I think a lot of people are fed a little bit of misconception and deception from the industry and even people in the industry. And I don't necessarily want to say all of it's bad, because a lot of times you're getting people that may never work out come into working out. But I think like from my experience, so in other words, like my clientele or even like people that I've spoke with, I think one of the reasons that people tend to start and stop is they start off with really no goals. They start working out just because somebody told them or their doctor told them that they need to work out, or they just feel like it's time for them to do something.
Because everyone else is doing it.
Right, and so I mean, like anything else, when you attack something and you don't have a roadmap, you don't have a plan, you don't have a goal, you can lose your motivation very fast.
True. It's not enough just to have motivation.
Yeah, and I think on the other side of that, kind of like the polar opposite, some people do have goals. And when I talk to my clients in a consultation, I want to know what their goals are, and sometimes it's about setting realistic expectations.
Yes.
Everybody thinks they're going to start working out and they're just magically going to get results like that. And unfortunately, and I'll even be the first one to say it, like I played sports for years, and before I got into the fitness industry and knew what I knew, I wanted the quick fix.
Yeah.
I wanted something that like okay,
yeah.
I've worked out for a month now. How come I can't
Yeah.
bench press 300 pounds?
Yeah.
So it's really understanding what their goals are, and sometimes it does take a conversation about kind of realistic expectations.
True. Yeah. I find that people have this idea that they see these challenges, they see these 90-day fixes,
Right.
and they immediately think that that's the solution, right?
Yeah.
How far from the truth, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is, again, like I think it just as a culture, we're always looking for the quick fix.
Yeah.
Give me the pill and make it work. And you're starting to see more and more studies come out about, like I won't mention any TV shows or anything, but you're starting to see more information come out about, like it's not about that challenge, that quick fix, that extreme weight loss. Like if I lose 100 pounds in a certain amount, you're seeing that it's great for the time being, but my profession, I want to believe as an industry, is to help people forever.
Yeah.
For the long term.
Right. Give them the tools, give them the concepts and everything,
Right.
so that they can
Education.
continue. Yeah.
And because it's great that if 90 days later they feel great, but if another 90 days after that, not only are they maybe back where they started, but sometimes in a worse position. They don't know what to do, and a lot of times what happens is they'll go back to what they did before, and it may not work quite the same way the second time or the third time or the fourth time, and at that point now they believe it's their fault.
Correct.
And I've had conversations with clients that unfortunately end up in tears because they feel that they're doing everything right.
Yeah.
And it's not working anymore, and depression sets in a little bit.
Good point.
And then
Yes.
they just want to get away from fitness altogether, and that's not what we want as an industry,
Right,
and that's
right.
not what we want as any health professionals.
Right. It's almost like, I don't know, I take it not too personally, but it's sort of like, okay, I failed this person, and getting them to realize it's not this short-term thing.
Right.
It's not. Although they need to have the body for to be in a swimsuit by June or something. Yeah, that's good. But what's after June, right?
Yeah. And I mean, that does bring in another aspect. It's like I get it. Summer's coming up. Pretty soon, you guys will be out of the snow and you'll be able to do stuff. Summers, weddings, reunions. Like I do get that there is a time and place where you can go that little extra above and beyond. But even when I'm training someone for their wedding and they want to look as best as they've ever looked in their wedding dress, I'm going to say, okay, we're going to do this the long-term way. When we get to a certain point, we're going to be able to really go at it.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand there's going to be a regression there. Once that wedding happens and you go back to your old or your normal habits, expect a little bit regain. And once they know that and they're okay with it, and I'm okay with them knowing that, I don't mind if they shed a little weight faster than normal.
Right.
There's a regression, but then they're right back on it. They know that what they're doing consistently will make it easier to get that little quick 30-day like lean out and then back at it. So there's ebbs and flows to everything, but you don't want the yo-yo to go too far in each direction.
I think that when the person actually has made that transformation from going, I think what it is like people think it's so hard to achieve certain goals if they have a goal, that if they don't reach it or they fail to reach it, they'll stop, and then they'll fall off the bandwagon and completely get away from fitness, which is not what we want, and so how do we avoid that bottom out, like fall off the boat type of thing? And you know, if they do get that regression, like you said, they'll still continue. Well, and again, I think it comes down to the same thing. The realistic expectations is when they say like I want to do this. If they fail at it, you're feeding into that. So if they tell me if they show me a picture of a Instagram superstar, like some guy with chiseled abs or some woman who's power cleaning, and they want to look like that in 60 days. Again, you can see a lot of that on social media. So first of all, understanding that these people didn't get like this in 60 days. And now what I like is more of these high-level athletes are actually coming out about the fact that they've done this for years, for decades. That is a good point.
And it's a consistent effort over time. And I always reinforce that. It's consistent effort over time. And if you have a regression, just accept that. but don't
Oh,
give
it's
up.
coming, right? It's
Yeah,
coming.
absolutely. I mean,
It's
like
coming.
things happen, like
Yeah.
injuries happen, and it doesn't even mean injuries in the gym. Like people fall, people get in
Yeah.
accidents.
Yeah.
Injuries happen. Expect a regression.
Right.
But keep plugging away. Continue to do what you can. You may not need to eat perfectly, but you can't eat horribly every day.
True. It is a long marathon, and people use that phrase a lot.
Yeah.
But it is a marathon, and that even there's a setback, like you said, injuries or illness or whatever, emergencies that happen in your families. That shouldn't be the reason to completely just give up.
Right. Yeah.
There's no reason.
Yeah, and it a lot of times the conversation has to be had prior to that person ever giving up. Because sometimes, like if I have a client or if a gym has a gym member, sometimes it's not until they disappear that you realize they fell off. And sometimes you may never be able to have that conversation with somebody. So it's really making sure they understand that things will happen.
Right.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If someone comes to me because they want to lose weight and gain muscle, and they just had a rough month,
Right.
kids in school, work problems. I mean, there's a ton of problems, and and we do our kind of checks and balances and measurements and things, and they regressed.
Right.
I'll say,
right.
okay,
Right.
like, we'll chalk it up to just having a rough month, but I don't want numerous rough months.
Right. Exactly.
And what I don't want to do at that point, if they have a regression, is basically yell at them and start pushing them more, because that's going to push them away. I like to believe when we start with a client, I meet them where we're at.
Yep.
But 3 months later, I still need to meet them where they're at.
Of course.
And 3 months later, I still need to meet them where they're at.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a checks and balances that go on with them, their eating, my relationship with them, and sometimes having them come in here and just absolutely beating them up in the gym is the worst thing they could do.
Right.
There could be a lot of other stuff going on that you have no idea about. If you develop a good relationship with your clients, they're going to tell you that stuff, and that's really important. And sometimes it's okay to let them coast, like be in a plateau. Just if they're coming in, if their life is filled with stress, this could just be their stress outlet. They don't necessarily need to be gaining and losing weight. And when they're ready, they will make that next jump. The intensity will come up, and they'll start seeing gains again. So sometimes it's being okay in a maintenance phase for a while.
And, another point too is like people. I think they'll get to a point. You've probably seen these people come in. And they said, "Well, I haven't worked out in 5 years."
Right.
Since high school. I've heard that before, and it's like, wow, where have you been?
Yeah.
But until they discover you or something, and it's sort of like, okay, so let's start from scratch or something, right? Which is fine.
Yep.
And as long as people are willing to admit that they should have done something, that's a good start too.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
I think, honestly, if I had an extra $1 for every time someone said, man, I wish I had started this 5 years ago, I'd be a wealthy man. But you always got to say, like, it's better late than never. And like the best time to start was a few months ago. The second best time to start is right now. Understanding that. And I think a lot of people, like, their first thought process is, well, I'm going to go to the gym and start getting in shape before I get a trainer. I get that a lot. And again, sometimes they start doing the wrong things in the gym. And they either may never go to that trainer, or they go to the trainer, and the trainer now has to start from scratch again, kind of reteaching certain things.
If there's one thing I think that I think you realize, Gregory, is that if someone's starting and watching this right now and wants to restart, which is totally cool, seek out someone like Greg and just start with 1-2 sessions or whatever, and then you might like that, and then just continue with the instructions you're given, because ultimately if a person restarts and then start off on the wrong foot, it's the worst thing, right? It's the worst thing.
And like, I'd like to believe, again, our goal as a fitness industry is to just get people more healthy, more active, and working out. That doesn't mean you need to hire a trainer for the rest of your life.
Correct.
Some people have a good knowledge base. Like, if you did play sports, you may at least know, okay, I know how to strength train and deadlift and eat right. It's good to at least get started. But at some point, if you're brand new to this or you haven't done it in a long time, I think what I find with a lot of my clients who come in literally for the first time in years is they have some things going on in their body they had no idea was going on. Because they never thought to check.
Correct.
I mean, my big thing is I do a balance test with everybody. And so many people, and all I'm doing is asking them to stand on one leg. So many people fall after 5 seconds and say, I don't know when I lost that. With my older clientele, are you comfortable getting up and down off the ground? They said, oh, sure. And when they go to do it, they can't. And that's scary. When we're talking about training older clientele, is
Yes.
you never ever lose the ability to get up and down off the ground, because you will find yourself there one day and you don't want to be there. And again, I think people, as we get older, we're kind of told to stop working out. It's dangerous. You don't want to get hurt, and it's just a bad way to think. You're working out, you're being fit because you don't want to get injured.
Right. Speaking of older, not to cut you off, I think if you, I bet you've heard a lot of people who are older actually admit they wish they had started
Absolutely
5-10 years earlier.
and I'll even say a lot of my clientele, I would probably say, is right around baby boomer age. And they're also probably where I get my best results, because they understand the benefit of it. They weren't doing it before, especially my females. At a certain age, it's now more popular and more trendy for females to strength train. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it really wasn't. Right. So they're now in this new category of, I'm not as active as I used to be. I'm not necessarily overweight, but I don't have a lot of muscle tone, and my metabolism is slowing down. And when those ladies see that not only strength training doesn't bulk them up like everyone thinks it does, but now all of a sudden their metabolism is increasing. They get the tone back in their bodies. Then they're excited. Then they're all in, and those are the ones that you'll see. It's a consistent effort over time, and they see the results. And whether I move away or they move away, they're in it. They know that this is going to make them feel better for a long period of time.
Right. You know, even if people who are watching this right now, if you start or restart, whatever it is, whatever the case is, the industry has changed so much. Year after year, right? Would you say? Year after year, it's changed so much.
Month after month.
That there's new training concepts out there that we have studied, we have done, we know that works, and that you will speed up your progress by years. And instead of trying to figure it all out. And so that's another good reason to just, if you were to restart or start, to reach out to someone like us, and I think that's really key, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you're right. I feel like the fitness and nutrition industry is always changing, and I find
newest diet every week.
Yeah, exactly. And that's diets, anti-diets, things like that. But I find myself. I talked a little bit before we started this. I'm always going to continue education seminars. I love the new knowledge that's coming out, and the problem is I feel like every 5 years I have to go, okay, what I was doing 5 years ago doesn't make any sense anymore. Or I'm just finding better ways to do it. I played football for 14 years of my life, so as an adult after football, what did I do to get in shape? I went right back to my football training.
Got it.
And man, I wish I knew then what I knew now, because I just kept beating my body up as if I was playing football. Whereas now, I probably work out half the amount of time. I'm more efficient in my workouts. I'm not spending 3 hours in the gym doing back and buys one day, legs the other day. I'm working out 3 days a week, getting some extra cardio and getting my eating right. And it's drastically easier because I was doing what I used to know. That was for a completely different goal set. And I think people get stuck into that. So again, they go back into what they used to do. They don't get the results they want. They lose interest.
The biggest thing I think throughout this conversation, if hope you're taking away, is that
don't ever stop. No,
there's no reason to stop. And then if you do, there's still no reason to stop. It's a lifestyle. It is a lifelong activity for sure. Again, seniors wish they've continued doing, or wish they have done it when they were younger. And if you are young watching this, you definitely should just continue doing some form of it. I think you would believe that any dance, cardio, we won't name names, but any type of strength training would be awesome. Any type of fitness that you do to get the heart rate up, get the muscles going, just staying active is going to be way better than just cold turkey stuff.
Find what you're willing to do is usually what I'll tell people. Again, if you don't enjoy working out, then you need to find something that excites you, that gets you excited. And it may be like whether it's marathon training, half marathon training. My thing, being in this industry, sometimes I don't like working out in the gym. Hiking became my calorie burning goals for a couple summers, and it's amazing. So if you just need a break from the gym, or if you're seeing a personal trainer, you just need a break from your personal trainer, make sure you do something that at least keeps you active. You may not keep hitting those goals, but you're going to sustain. Right. The eating. I've never told anybody to give up anything, but there's a moderation aspect. So when you step away from fitness, like just life gets in the way, I get it. When you step away, even like a 20-minute walk outside does so much good. So don't ever just stop. If you get injured, like there are a lot of things that you can do. You just talk with your doctor or your physical therapist through that injury and make sure you're staying active. I have clients that are as old as 85 right now, and the ones that are still doing it the best, and some of these guys are probably as good as some of my 40-year-olds, is they never stopped. They're still playing activities. They're still hiking, they're biking, they're golfing, they're playing baseball, and it's because they never truly stopped. Some of their interests may have changed, but some of them had knee replacements, hip replacements, shoulders replacements because of things in the past, but they never stopped. As soon as they were done rehab, they didn't just stop. That's where everyone, I got injured, I got rehabbed, I don't hurt anymore, okay, I don't need to exercise anymore. It's a continuation of be active, be healthy, because it makes life so much easier as you get older to just be just a little bit more active every day.
Find a trainer, find someone that you can leech off information that we have. But seek us out. I think that would be a really cool thing to do. But stopping and starting, this should never happen. Never, at least stopping. It should never happen. Right?
And don't be afraid to restart.
Absolutely. Greg, what would you say to someone who is watching this right now and just is in the Sacramento area and wants to get started again? What would you say? Come seek you out.
In all honesty,
call you.
I would say, and I don't even want to make this sound sales pitchy. Just come and chat. Sometimes just talking to somebody who understands what you're going through is a good start. I'm never upset if someone comes and talks to me and then goes to decide to see another trainer or not to see a trainer at all. Just have the conversation. Because I think anybody who walks into my door at least knows that they're ready to start, and that's really important. At Verimax, here we always do a free consultation, and it's a chance for us to sit down, talk about where you want to go, what you want to do, and go through some assessments to see where the starting points are.
You got so many tools.
I'm kind of a mixed bag in here, but like there's a bazillion different ways to do things.
Rehab maybe a little bit, strength training, things like that.
I mean we do a lot here. Rehab, strength training, weight loss, fat loss, sports performance. We do golf performance here.
No BS here.
And I'm also a believer that, like there's no such thing as a bad program. There's no such thing as a bad exercise, but there is the implementation of those things.
You do nutritional stuff too?
Yeah, absolutely. Some people may not be ready for the all-out high-intensity workouts. Other people, I mean, we're doing groundwork. It just depends on what they need. Finding that passion that'll get you into the gym. Like a lot of our golfers probably wouldn't be working out if they didn't realize it would better their golf game. They're playing pain-free and hit the ball farther. So I mean, anybody who wants to start, like just go have the conversation with a trainer. I would love to believe every trainer would be happy to just sit down and have a conversation with you with no obligation. Because it's good for the industry, and like I said, if you're finding and seeking those people out, it means you're ready to start the change, which is important.
Phone call, phone number. We'll put it in the show notes, but real quick, what's the number?
Let's see, verimaxfitness.com. Let's see, you could probably reach me at gjohnson@verimaxfitness.com, and I'll even say like my cell phone if you need someone to call. My cell phone is 207, because I used to be from Maine, 207-233-1501. Don't be afraid to reach out and just have the conversation.
Facebook too?
Facebook. Everything's under Verimax Fitness.
Verimax Fitness. We'll put it all in the show notes, but definitely reach out. Reach out to them, because you never know. The conversation could give you an idea or something that changes your health, and that's really what we want.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, Gregory, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
If you like and got some value out of this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the notification button, and you'll get more right away. All right, you guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bam! Hey, thanks for listening to my podcast. Are you overwhelmed and frustrated with your fitness journey? If you are, I get it. There's so much information out there, and it can be confusing. It's a terrible feeling, and I want to fix it for you right now. Yep, it starts with my educational library containing my best trainings. The best part is that it's free to join. You get my training secrets, special workshops, and cooking recipe books. Valued over $2,000 at this time with ongoing updates in the future, there is no other time to join than now. Visit www.goality.com/raw to sign up today. You'll be glad you did. Hey, remember to subscribe and leave feedback for me. Did you know you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Eric W. Sue Trainer? I have unique content there, and it would be cool to connect with you there. Finally, share or tag this episode with your friends. Sharing is caring. Okay, catch you on the next episode.